Hello everyone, welcome to my update US gossip channel. Kody Brown had always believed he could juggle chaos the way a circus performer tossed flaming torches, but nothing prepared him for the moment the entire Brown family, and the world, learned that he and Robyn had crossed a line so severe, so legally explosive, that even the most loyal Sister Wives fans gasped in disbelief. It all began when rumors swirled about delays in the Coyote pass sale paperwork, a process that had been dragging for months, tangled in old ownership documents, zoning disputes, and emotional attachments layered with decades of dysfunction. But behind the scenes, something far more sinister had been brewing. Kody, desperate to keep control of the property and terrified that losing it would symbolize the final collapse of everything he once lorded over, had allegedly taken matters into his own hands, literally. Christine Brown, long free from Kody's chaos and fully invested in her new life with David Woolley, had repeatedly stated she was done signing anything related to Coyote Pass. She had moved on, relinquished her claim years earlier, and wanted no involvement whatsoever with the land that represented her years of sacrifice, loneliness, and heartbreak. But when the bank, the county recorder's office, and the title company all required confirmation from every past stakeholder to finalize the sale, and Christine refused to be dragged back into Brown family drama, Kody panicked. This wasn't just paperwork, this was the last piece of real estate tying him to the dream of one big united plural family, the fantasy he still clung to even as Mary, Janelle, and Christine all walked away. According to insiders close to the situation, people who claimed to have overheard frantic late-night discussions at Robyn's Flagstaff rental, Kody became convinced he had no choice but to fabricate Christine's approval. He allegedly printed an old scan of her signature from a years-old contract, traced it onto the new legal form using a bright desk lamp, and then performed what he proudly called the cleanest signature recreation imaginable. What he didn't realize was that forging a signature isn't only immoral but also a felony with real jail time attached. And this wasn't just any forged signature, it was a forged signature on a land transfer involving hundreds of thousands of dollars. Meanwhile, Robyn, who had always sworn she did everything to keep the family together, found herself allegedly complicit when she notarized the document despite not having Christine present in the room, a violation of legal protocol so serious it could get a notary permanently banned or worse. Family insiders claimed Robyn's hand shook as she pressed her seal onto the page, whispering repeatedly, "This is for the family, this is for our future," as if trying to justify a moral failing with emotional necessity. But secrets don't stay buried long in the Brown family, especially when legal institutions get involved. When the title company tried to verify Christine's signature, someone in the office noticed the pen stroke pattern looked mechanically consistent, a dead giveaway that the signature had been traced. This prompted the title officer to contact Christine directly, who was stunned to hear her name had been used without her permission. Christine, who had been in North Carolina visiting Truly at the time, reportedly froze with disbelief before her shock turned into full-blown fury. "I did not sign anything," she allegedly told the title company, her voice shaking with outrage. "And if someone forged my signature, I will press charges." Within hours, everything exploded. The title company placed an immediate hold on the land sale. A fraud investigation was opened. Officers showed up at Kody and Robyn's home with questions neither of them ever expected to face. According to neighbors who witnessed the scene, Kody's voice escalated into frantic pleading while Robyn cried hysterically on the porch, insisting it was a misunderstanding. "We thought she agreed." But the investigators weren't interested in emotional explanations. They were interested in facts, and the facts pointed directly to forgery. As the investigation unfolded, details began trickling to the rest of the Brown family. Janelle learned first, receiving a call from the county office asking if she knew anything about Christine's supposed signature. Mary heard next, texting Janelle in disbelief, "This is really happening? He really did this?" The ex-wives, already exhausted from years of emotional manipulation and legal entanglements, soon realized this wasn't merely a family scandal, it was a criminal one. Christine, refusing to be victimized again by Kody's "the rules don't apply to me" mentality, spoke with lawyers who confirmed that forgery on land deeds carried potentially heavy penalties. And the sheer scale of the deception, fraud, false notarization, attempted land transfer under false pretense, meant prosecutors were taking the case seriously. Meanwhile, social media exploded. Sister wives fans, long divided about who was at fault in the family implosion, were suddenly united in shock. Posts went viral. Kody forged Christine's signature? Robyn notarized a fake signature? If this is true, someone's going to jail. Even tabloids that had been quiet on the family for months dove in, publishing speculation about whether Kody's desperation stemmed from financial issues, emotional breakdowns, or fear of losing all remaining assets. Interviews resurfaced in which Kody bragged about being the leader of the family, comments that now seemed delusional in light of his alleged willingness to break the law to keep control. Through it all, Christine kept remarkably calm, publicly, at least. Privately, insiders claimed she fumed, pacing her kitchen while muttering to David, 27 years of manipulation wasn't enough. Now he's forging my name? David, fiercely protective of Christine, urged her to press charges not out of revenge but out of principle. He doesn't get to do this to you, he reportedly told her. Not anymore. Further investigation revealed that the document Kody submitted had inconsistencies beyond the signature, altered dates, mismatched ink types, and a notary stamp placed in a location not compliant with Arizona guidelines. The county office documented everything. Evidence mounted. And as the truth came into full view, Kody's defenses collapsed. During a private meeting with investigators, one that sources later described as chaotic and embarrassing, Kody allegedly admitted he had replicated Christine's signature, insisting he did it because she would have agreed if she wasn't being influenced. That excuse didn't hold water. It only implicated him further. Robyn, meanwhile, sobbed through her interview, claiming she thought Christine had given verbal permission. When asked for proof, she couldn't provide any. It became clear that the couple's attempt to control the narrative had spiraled into a legal disaster they couldn't charm or cry their way out of. TLC executives, upon learning of the situation, held emergency meetings. A storyline involving felony-level fraud was ratings gold, but also a potential liability. Could they film it? Should they film it? Would airing it interfere with ongoing investigations? Behind closed doors, producers debated whether this scandal could mark the end of Sister Wives entirely, or ignite the most explosive season yet. Meanwhile, the Brown family fractured even further. Janelle, who had already distanced herself from Kody's emotional chaos, was reportedly done forever, telling friends she never wanted to speak to him again unless it involved their children. Mary, who had long held lingering loyalty toward Kody despite everything, finally snapped. She allegedly texted him, "Forging someone's signature isn't keeping the family together. It's manipulation and fraud. I'm ashamed of you." The message went unanswered. For weeks, Kody and Robyn remained under investigation. Lawyers stepped in. Christine cooperated fully, handing over documents proving her past signatures looked nothing like the forged version. Analysts concluded the forgery was textbook tracing, identifying identical line angles and pressure points. It was, legally speaking, an open and shut case. But in the end, perhaps due to Christine's desire to move on, perhaps due to prosecutors focusing on larger priorities, the case didn't go to trial. Instead, Kody and Robyn were issued a formal reprimand, fined, and required to attend legal compliance programs. The notary complaint filed against Robyn resulted in her losing her notary privileges permanently. But the damage was already done. The family trust shattered beyond repair. Kody's reputation plummeted to a historic low. And the world now saw, with unmistakable clarity, just how far he and Robyn were willing to go to cling to the last remnants of control. Though the land was eventually sold, properly, legally, without shortcuts, the scandal left a dark stain on the Brown legacy. Christine emerged stronger, vindicated, and more respected than ever, a woman who refused to be silenced or manipulated one more time. And Kody? His downfall was complete, not because his wives left him, not because he lost control of his family, but because he crossed a line even he couldn't talk his way out of. The forging of Christine's signature wasn't just a legal crime. It was the final proof that the man who once preached unity and faith had fallen into desperation so deep he was willing to risk everything to preserve an illusion of power that no longer existed. And in the end, the truth destroyed that illusion forever.